Right then, different settings for me this morning. I'm in a hotel because we had to do Vibe with 5 last night, so make sure you check that out when that comes out a little bit later today. What a day yesterday was. Opening game of the season. You want to be filled with positivity. The stadium looks brilliant in bright colours. Everything's so green and so red and so vibrant. And then we put in an absolute 2 out of 10 performance, maybe even 1 out of 10 performance. Here's 5 things that we learned. United versus Brighton. In at number 1, McFred, misery. And I know you got to separate them, but you can't separate them. Seemingly we can't separate them because they have to play together. I'm going to focus on McTominay a little bit. He is a bottom 10 of the league midfielder. He does nothing worth quality. Christian Eriksen, who we got on a free yesterday, put in almost like a masterclass on how to play central midfield yesterday. McTominay completed 18 passes in 78 minutes. What are we doing? What are you doing? I'm not sure how many of them were actually... None of them broke a line. I think 2 of them were forward, but they were like at 45-degree angles. So, like, were they forward? I mean, really? Were they forward? I don't know what he brings to the team to consistently be started again. Fred, as I've said, those 2 being squad players, no one's really asked. But they're starting week in, week out. Fred has got some good qualities, and when you play him higher up, I think he can be a real pressing midfielder, but we're asking him to play in the 6. And he can't play in the 6. He just can't receive the ball under pressure. He can't receive the ball with his back to the opposition goal and facing our goal because he can't turn under pressure. He hasn't got the first touch to be able to receive it in those tight areas and move it onto someone else. He can't do that. Very, very low ceiling. When the midfield is such an important part of the pitch, you're not going to play beautiful football with those 2 in that position. No striker, no hope. We lacked a real cutting edge and threat, and we didn't really have any kind of penetration. And a lot of that's probably going to be down to the fact that we played with no striker. The false 9 experiment failed. We hadn't seen it in pre-season. Before the match, there's a couple of people saying, could this be like a 4-4-2 diamond with Sancho and Rashford being the 2? And maybe that would have been a pretty good one for us to use. But we hadn't seen it in pre-season. And I know how rigid Ten Hag is about the formations that he plays. So I was almost certain it wasn't going to be a 4-4-2 diamond. Then it was going to be what we saw. We had fullbacks being wasteful, getting into good areas, but being wasteful by crossing it into areas where nobody was because we don't have a predatory, natural, instinctive striker in there. And even Ronaldo, when he came on, was a passenger. You can talk about match sharpness and blah, 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 but that's the fact, isn't it? He was a passenger when he came on. United need to sign a striker because I don't think we're going to be able to do it without another one, at least. And if Ronaldo goes, we desperately need another striker. Number 3, centre-back controversy. What is United's best centre-back partnership going to be? I've seen a lot of people saying Harry Maguire was our best player on the pitch yesterday, and I don't know how. I can't believe this is coming to the point where people think this is any sort of agenda against Harry Maguire. I'm saying what I see. I said he played well in pre-season, except for the one mistake where he got done on the halfway line. But now when you call out the abject lack of scanning and awareness and communication and leadership from the back line, that's seemingly some sort of an agenda. And I'm doing it for clicks. Are you fucking mad? Are you fucking insane? Harry Maguire and his scanning is well-renowned shit. And if you can't see it, I can't help you. You need to watch him and see how fixated he becomes on the football. How often he doesn't do this. Every single good defender scans like a motherfucker. And Harry Maguire's lack of scanning is so blatantly obvious. Go look at both goals. And you tell me. I'd love to see Varane and Martinez, but we can't trust Varane because the guy doesn't stay fit. Number 4, big few weeks. The board needs to have had a bit of a wake-up call. We had 9 of the same players that let us down last season, and everyone's hoping for a completely fresh sort of outlook. Wasn't going to be the case, was it? We never look like we can keep a clean sheet. We don't look like we've got the ability to play through the thirds. We don't look like we've got a forward line capable of scoring tons of goals. You need another couple of signings at least Probably 2 at least to give us a fighting chance this season, I would say. At least 2. The board have got a couple of weeks now to show some sort of urgency and desire to be more than the 5th or 6th best team in England. And number 5, Ten Hag. If we didn't know already, the guy's got a hell of a job on his hands. We don't know if he's got the players to be able to do what he wants to do. I'm sure we're finding that out a little bit. But it doesn't feel like we've got the players capable of doing what he wants to do. Will he be afforded the time? Will we see a reaction from the players? All the noises that we've been hearing coming out of Old Trafford and Carrington have been the positive, correct ones. He's changing things. He's instilling discipline. He's making very, very detailed changes to things that are going to make a massive impact. But you still need to put out an 11 on the pitch that's going to be capable of competing. Now, by the same rule, if you go through Brighton's 11 should not be able to compete with Manchester United's, and that's testament to the job and the time that that Potter's had and done. He's doing a fantastic job. The pressure is different at Manchester United at Old Trafford. We are the most talked about club in the world, and that with it brings its own pressures. He's got a big couple of weeks coming up. See you in the next one.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.